artificial intelligence models currently dominating the global economy. That position has pushed NVIDIA to a $5 trillion valuation, making it larger than Apple, larger than Google, and the most valuable entity on Earth. Curious, but if you trace that company back to its origins, you find a 9-year-old immigrant cleaning bathrooms at the Oneida Baptist Institute, a strict, discipline-heavy school in Kentucky that functioned a lot like a reformatory. That kid was Jensen Huang. The isolation of that school taught him a lesson that would dictate his future business strategy. When a situation is terrible, complaining solves nothing. You adapt or you disappear. By 1992, Huang and his co-founders had quit their engineering jobs to build a universal chip for the emerging 3D gaming market. They called the company NVIDIA, and they gambled every dollar they had on a specific vision of the future. Faster, slightly tense. After 2 years of work, they launched their first product, the NV1. It was designed to render 3D environments using curved surfaces. Then, Microsoft published the DirectX specification, which dictated that PC games would be built using tiny, flat triangles. NVIDIA had spent 2 years engineering a chip for a world that ceased to exist. The NV1 failed immediately. It left the brand-new company with no revenue, pushing them within weeks of total liquidation. NVIDIA's current global dominance grew from these early failures. It is the result of surviving a series of terrifying existential gambles. With 30 days of payroll left in the bank, Huang flew to Japan to meet with Sega CEO. Sega had hired NVIDIA to build graphics processors using the same dead-end technology as the NV1. Huang asked Sega to cancel the contract, but still pay the remaining $5 million as a blind investment to keep NVIDIA alive. Sega agreed, providing a lifeline that secured NVIDIA's foothold in the massive 1990s gaming boom alongside consoles like the Dreamcast. That $5 million bought NVIDIA exactly 6 months of oxygen. They had half a year to abandon their old architecture entirely and built a fully DirectX-compatible chip from scratch, the Riva 128. The Riva 128 worked. It sold 1 million units in 4 months, pulling NVIDIA back from the brink. By 1999, they launched the GeForce 256 and gave the industry a brand new term, the Graphics Processing Unit, or GPU. To understand why the GPU matters, look at the Central Processing Unit, or CPU. A CPU acts like one extremely intelligent employee. It executes complex tasks one by one, finishing one before moving to the next. A GPU acts like 10,000 interns. The individual nodes are simple, but there are thousands of them, and they execute tiny mathematical calculations at the exact same time. Rendering 3D graphics requires thousands of these simultaneous micro-calculations. By mastering the math for video games, NVIDIA inadvertently created the exact parallel processing architecture needed for the future of computing. By 2006, NVIDIA dominated PC gaming, but Huang saw an untapped vacuum. He realized those 10,000 interns could calculate physics, weather, or biology instead of just rendering pixels. He committed roughly $500 million to build CUDA, a software platform that allowed researchers to use gaming chips for general-purpose scientific computing. It was a massive financial drain. For 6 full years, CUDA produced almost zero revenue. Internally, critics dismissed the project as a multi-million-dollar subsidy for PhD students. Then, in 2012, researchers gathered for a competition called ImageNet. The challenge was to write software that could identify objects in millions of photos, a task computer scientists had struggled to do manually for a decade. This visualizes the 2012 results. Second place sat at a 26.2% error rate, but AlexNet achieved a staggering 15.3%. To secure their future, NVIDIA offered $40 billion in 2020 to acquire ARM, the British company whose instruction sets are used in almost every smartphone on Earth. The move triggered panic across the tech sector. Fearing an inescapable monopoly, global regulators blocked the acquisition, forcing NVIDIA to walk away 18 months later. The geopolitical stakes escalated in 2022 when Washington banned the export of NVIDIA's most advanced AI chips, like the H100, to China. Overnight, massive revenue streams from Alibaba and ByteDance were cut off by federal order. NVIDIA now operates as a strategic weapon, with its global distribution and partnerships heavily dictated by U.S. foreign policy. Despite these political hurdles, demand remains insane. NVIDIA's next-generation chips are being pre-ordered by every major AI lab before the factories can even finish building them. This scale was never guaranteed. A company that built the wrong chip and had 30 days of cash left became the most valuable entity on Earth. NVIDIA's trajectory proves that adaptability and a sheer will to survive can outlast even the most carefully constructed business plan.